Hi, everyone, and welcome back. It's day 4 for third grade reading, and we are still talking about summarizing. Today and tomorrow, we're really going to focus on writing some really good summaries. And I'm really excited about reading your summaries. I'm going to give you a chance to actually send them to me. So stay tuned for this lesson. And then at the end, you'll be able to send me your summary, which is going to be really cool. So I am excited to get started, and let's go over our objective for the day. So today's objective is I can write a brief summary about a given text using a graphic organizer. So we're going to be using a graphic organizer today to organize your thoughts before you write your paragraph. Okay, so that's going to be awesome. All right, so before we get into the main part of the lesson, I'm going to show you a quick little video on vocabulary, which I know is a hit with a lot of you, and you might have already seen it. If you have, feel free to sing along, dance, do whatever you want, watch it a couple times. It's a really fun video. So here we go. Here's our video.
You already know it's the Flow Cab crew. What? It's a song about summarizing. Where? Brooklyn. Why? For school. When? Right now. The reason it's helpful to summarize a text is to tell someone the gist, and so you don't forget. Put only relevant facts in a summary. That means important in case you were wondering, but don't make your summary too short. That leaves us asking questions and wanting more, like, let's say you read the BFG. Your summary, it's about a girl named Sophie and a giant. I liked it a lot, but you didn't mention anything about the plot. That summary is missing critical facts. You said you liked it, we don't need to know that. But that's not the only way that you can go wrong. Sometimes summaries are way too long. Only key events and main ideas should be in it. So cut out any extra info to win it. If you read an article on greenhouse gases, I don't need to know that the interviewer wore glasses. When summarizing, 5 things will get you by. Who, what, when, where, and why. Like, who is Sophie? What happens in the story? When does it happen? Today or 1940? Where does it take place? You gotta set the scene. And why is the book called the BFG? These are called the 5 W's. And when you summarize, they are something that you should use. And remember, it's just the facts, ma'am. So drop anything else in the trash can. A summary is a short explanation with just the important information. When you summarize, make it simple. Cut out the details and keep what's essential. A summary is a short explanation with just the important information. When you summarize, make it simple. Cut the details and keep what's essential. You know what a summary is now. Wanna write one? Yeah. Well, here's how. You code while you read, then write it up. I'll explain all that before our time is up. First up, coding. What does it mean? Coding's marking the text while you read. Use symbols to mark important facts, like a check mark to say, I already knew that. Reread any section that troubles you, and look for info on the 5 W's. As you read the second time, take good notes. Write down the information that stands out most, like who, what, when, where, and why. Now that you read the text, it's time to summarize. Organize your notes and gather your thoughts so that you're ready like a real boss. Recap what you read in your own words. Use complete sentences and those key terms. Once you write the summary, review and revise. Remove your opinions and keep it concise. You can summarize anything you read or watch. A short movie or a book about our need for socks. In many reviews, you'll see summaries a lot, sticking to main ideas and the plot. A summary is a short explanation with just the important information. When you summarize, make it simple. Cut out the details and keep what's essential. A summary is a short explanation with just who you already know. Explanation with just the important information. When you summarize, make it simple. Cut out the details and keep what's essential. A summary is a short explanation with just the important information. When you summarize, make it simple. Cut the details and keep what's essential.
Okay, so you watched our video. It's super fun. Maybe you watched it a couple times. If you want, you can rewind on our video and watch it again. So let's get started. We're going to work on a passage today about noses, which is a little bit weird, but it's gonna be fun. Okay, so our passage today is called A Useful Nose. So we're gonna read this together, and then we're going to look at a graphic organizer so that we can pull out those most important details, remember, and put them in our own words and then write us a summary. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to read to you. Feel free to pause your video and read it yourself. Read it a couple times. I always encourage that. So, what do you use your nose for? Do you use it to squirt water or pick up leaves? Probably not. But did you know there is an animal that does all those things and more with its nose? It's an elephant. Elephants are amazing creatures with extremely interesting noses called trunks. An elephant's trunk contains more than 40,000 muscles. The tip of an elephant's trunk is flexible and bends easily. Elephants use the tips of their trunks the same way you use your fingers. They can pick up items, tear leaves off of branches, and scoop food into their mouths using their trunks. Trunks are also used for drinking water. Elephants do not drink water through their trunks. Instead, they use the trunk like a straw to suck up the water and squirt it into their mouths. Elephants also use their trunks to keep clean and comfortable. They will spray a shower of water out of their trunks for a quick bath. They might also spray out a shower of dust to get rid of pests, guard their sensitive skin from the sun's rays, and prevent sunburn. Another way that trunks are useful to elephants is for communication. They use their trunks to give hugs, greet each other, or greet other elephants, and make sounds for their elephants to hear. An elephant trunk truly is a useful nose. So, right underneath that, you have some questions here, 5 questions to answer. I'm not going to go over those today, but I'm going to allow you the chance to work on them because it might give you a better understanding of what you just read. So if you would like, you can pause the video. You can answer these 5 questions here and then resume the video and we'll go right into our graphic organizer. All right, so if you've answered those questions, that's awesome. And I'm really, really proud of you. I really hope that you did. And now we're going to move into the actual summarizing part. Okay, so I'm going to come back up here to our passage because we're going to be using that to fill in our graphic organizer. And then you should also have a copy of this graphic organizer, and you've seen it before, okay, with the who, what, where, when, why, and how section. So, and then down here you have a space to kind of write a summary, a paragraph. So I'm going to help you fill in some of this graphic organizer, and then you are going to work on writing your summary all by yourself. And I'll show you where you can send me your summary. So first we're going to talk about the who, okay? So Let's talk about who this is about. Now, we know that it's not an actual person that we're talking about, but it's about what? What's this animal? An elephant. Yeah, absolutely. So we are going to go ahead and fill in our graphic organizer. And we said the who is elephants. Next is what. So on your graphic organizer, the next question is what. So what about elephants are they talking about? Are they talking about elephant skin, elephants babies, elephants tusks? No, they're talking about elephant trunks. And those are their noses. Okay? And so our next question is where? Well, we don't have a great where here, okay? Because it doesn't really tell us where the animals live or what part of the country they're in, what part of the world they're in. So we might want to leave that blank because it doesn't really tell us where, okay? So we're going to skip that one. Next is when. So just like with where, they didn't really tell us a when. So I'm gonna go back through this and make sure that they didn't talk about when elephants um a time frame. But something that they did talk about with which is kind of like a when is when do elephants use their trunks? Okay, when do the elephants use their trunks? So that's what we're going to do for when. So when an elephant uses their trunks, let's check. So this says that they use their trunks like fingers, okay? So they use them to pick up items. I think that's important. They also said that they use their trunks to keep clean and comfortable by spraying water on themselves or dust. And then the last way is that they use it for communication. So I'm going to write all three of those things. The first thing I'm going to do is write for when I'm going to write when picking up something, when communicating, because remember they said they use their trunks to communicate, to give hugs, to make sounds. Um, that's how they communicate using their trunks. And then the last part is when they're spraying water or dust. So when keeping clean or comfortable, that's what the passage said. So they use their trunks when picking something up, when communicating, and when keeping clean or comfortable. That's when they're going to use their trunk. Okay, the next part of our summary says why. Why do they use their trunks? So we're going to get a little more specific, okay? So they said that to tear leaves and feed themselves. What else did they say? Can you find something else specific, a specific thing that they said they use their trunks for? Okay, so I'm going to put spray water and dust because that was another thing that they said. Spray water and dust. And then the last part, they talk about communicating. And the way that they use their trunk is to give hugs and greet each other and make sounds. So I'm going to put that to give hugs and make sounds. So that's why they're using their trunks. The last part is how. Okay, so if you go back to your graphic organizer, it says how. So right, there's a great sentence in this passage that tells you how they use their trunks. And it's sort of at the beginning, it's in the second paragraph here. Okay, so it says elephants are amazing creatures with extremely interesting noses called trunks. An elephant's trunk contains more than 40,000 muscles, so it's telling you about the trunk. The tip of the elephant's trunk is flexible and bends easily. Elephants use the tips of their trunks the same way you use your fingers. Okay, so that's how they're using it. They're using it almost like a hand. So the way you pick things up, and if you give someone a hug, you use your hands and your arms. An elephant's trunk is kind of like an arm and a hand. Okay, it's like an extra arm and hand for them. So how they use it is elephants, and you can use that same sentence, use their trunks. And remember, we're putting this into our own words. So we don't want to just copy paste. So I'm going to say elephants use their trunks like humans use their arms and hands. Right. So we've now spent some time pulling out those important details. And I'm going to leave this up for just a minute so that you can see what I wrote and so that you can write some of the same things. And maybe you found something different that's important. And that's okay too. Okay, everybody's summary isn't going to be exactly the same. So I'm going to leave this up for a minute to get you to copy. You can pause the video and you can copy this down or spend some time going through and writing your own down. So you can pause the video here and finish that and then come back with me and I'll give you the next direction. All right, so if you have your graphic organizer filled out, if you have this top part filled out, the next part is really just to write a paragraph. So what you're going to do is instead of writing it on this piece of paper, which you can do, what I would love for you to do is at the bottom of this page on your computer, you should see a comment, and it's right here from Miss Ross. Okay, it says Jenna Ross, that's me. Okay, and you should be able to click on this link, and it says go to this link to write a summary. So you can click on this link, and it's going to take you to a Google form. And all you have to do is type in your summary right here and then when you hit submit or send, it will send it to me. So it just says write your 4 to 5 sentence summary of a useful nose. That's all you have to do. Okay. So I'm excited for you to type that up and send it to me. So if you want, what you can do is you can write it down on paper first, and then you can come back and type it up. That way you have it written down. If you struggle with typing and it's hard, that's okay. Take your time. Okay. You're only doing 4 or 5 sentences, but it's good practice. It's really good practice. And if you need someone to help you, of course, get someone to help you so you can send it to me. Um, I look forward really to reading everybody's summaries and seeing what you thought was most important. Remember, try to put everything in your own words and don't include any opinions. I like elephants, but I don't need to write about how I like elephants. I only want to write about the most important details. So make sure you focus on that. Use your graphic organizer and happy writing. And I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to be doing a really fun project. So come back tomorrow to see what that's about. And as always, if you would like to do some extra time on Imagine Learning or you'd like to do something off the choice board, I really, really encourage that. So I will see you all tomorrow. And as always, stay healthy, stay safe, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.